Hi guys, I'm Erin and I'm a speech pathologist at Therapy Care. Today I'm talking about my thoughts on flashcards and more specifically flashcards being used to teach kids words. I've briefly touched on this in a previous video where I discussed toys that are ideal for language development, but I wanted to elaborate on it a little bit more. So some parents have this idea that learning needs to be very formal and drill-like in nature, which is just not how young toddlers learn best. The research shows that young children learn best and more effectively through play and natural interactions with other people. So this is why most experts in language development will tell you to step away from the flashcards, and also kind of along the same lines, step away from the iPad apps or videos that claim to be educational, because your 1, 2, or 3-year-old will learn much more from interacting with you. No fancy devices or learning tools needed. So one reason being is that young kids don't really respond well to drill-like activities. So drilling them with flashcards that have little pictures on them is not going to be very fun. And we know that toddlers learn better when they're having fun. Also, a lot of times toddlers aren't able to generalize pictures that they see of objects to the objects in their real lives. So for example, the flashcard has a cartoon drawing of a car on it, and your child is able to say car when they see that particular picture, which is great, but now are they able to make the connection that those things driving around on the road are also cars, or that the toy that they push around on the floor is a car? So it's much more effective to discuss the items in their everyday environment. Another point is that most flashcards focus on nouns. Usually there's lots of pictures of things, so a house and a cow and a banana. Nouns are obviously really important for kids to know, but it's also important that they are learning a variety of words. So verbs and adjectives and prepositions and so on. And when you are incorporating modeling language throughout your daily routines and playtime, you will naturally be using a variety of words. So for example, when you're getting your child's lunch ready and you're pouring their milk, you can describe what you're doing. The milk goes in the cup. Or you're playing with them and you can say the car, go, go, go. Or when you're on a walk and you see a dog, you can say that's a big dog. And you get all of that really great vocabulary exposure while just interacting during your daily routine. Flashcards aren't all bad. They can be used in an effective way when kids are a little bit older. So for example, you can use flashcards to practice answering questions or describing things. You can sort the pictures into different categories or forming sentences with your 4 or 5-year-old. Since at that age, children start to respond a little better to formal instruction. So my take-home message here is to ditch the flashcards when teaching your young toddler new words, and instead just talk to your child throughout their day about things in their environment, and of course engage them in play. You can also read them books and talk about the things you see in the pictures as you go through the story, since this is a much more natural and engaging way for them to learn rather than drilling them with flashcards. I hope you learned something new here today. Thank you so much for listening.